Webheads, there's some pretty important number one comic books getting ready to come out this week. Why don't you stick around and check out which ones they are. Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, of course, as always, I'm your host, Mike Spider-Slayer, always helping you make decisions of what comic books to buy, and today, guys, I'm bringing you another episode of Must Read a New Number One Comic Books. That's right, guys, this is the video series where each and every week I share with you the newest, the latest, the greatest number one comic books that are getting ready to be released in the comic book shops. And guys, remember, this is for September 22nd, 2021. That's right, never miss out on those newest number ones, because you never know which series could catch fire, and then before you know it, you're not going to be able to get it on the racks. But before we get started, guys, if you want to go ahead and become a member of Comic Book Corner 2.0, just go ahead, hit that join button right there on my home screen. It does help support the channel, and it gives you, the viewers, some extra perks. All right, guys, so new little segment here on this series. So, guys, what is my number one comic book from last week? Well, it goes to May's book, issue 1. This is the series written by Jeff Lemire. I didn't think I was going to really like this book, but after a couple recommendations and people saying, Mike, why didn't you pick this up? I decided to read it digitally, and let me just tell you, I was not disappointed. Now, this is a depressing comic book about a man who has basically nothing in his life. However, the last page really definitely leaves you with that cliffhanger, wanting more. This is, again, a well-crafted book. I say pick this one up if it is still on the rack. You know, a lot of times you can't go wrong with Jeff Lemire. So definitely pick up May's book, issue 1, my favorite one of the week. And let's get started with next week's number one comic books that are coming out. Alright, guys, so first on the list we have The Death of Doctor Strange, issue 1. I have a feeling that this is going to be a huge book for a lot of fans out there. You know, everyone wants to see how Doctor Strange actually dies, who is going to be the replacement of Doctor Strange. So I think this is going to be a fun read. If you're looking to buy this book, this one is $5. Alright, next on the list we have XMen, The Onslaught Revelation, issue 1. It says, "You've strayed from the way of X. The onslaught is upon you." You know what? Honestly, there was a time where I wasn't reading comic books and I never read the character Onslaught. So when I heard that he was actually making appearance of Way of X, I actually felt a little bit lost. I had no information really about the character and whatnot, and I know he was like in the Age of Apocalypse and stuff like that, but I actually never read that event, and maybe I should go back and read it, but I do not think I will be picking up X-Men The Onslaught Revelation issue 1. If you want to get it, this book is a $5 price point. Alright, next we head on to DC, and we have Batman Secret Files, Miracle Molly. This is issue 1. Now, I think Miracle Molly is a pretty interesting character. I have a feeling that she has definitely some layers to her, and I think with this Secret Files book, I think this is going to explore her a little bit more. So I say definitely pick this one up, guys. This one is another $5 price point. My God, there is some beeping in the freaking front yard, and it is driving me crazy. So I am sorry if you guys hear that. Oh my gosh. Alright, next, from DC Comics, I have Suicide Squad, King Shark. This is issue 1. On leave from the Suicide Squad, King Shark, and unfortunate tag-along, the Defacer, gets swept into a mystical tournament for totemic animal spirits at the behest of King Shark's father, the God of Sharks. Alright, so honestly, you know, they're making this book because of the Suicide Squad movie. You know, I feel like King Shark wound up getting super popular because of that movie, so they kind of want to push him in the comic book as well. I still don't think I'm going to be picking this one up, as cool as King Shark is. But if you do want to pick this one up, this one is $4. All right, next on the list, we have Aquaman, The Becoming issue 1. Jackson Hyde finally has it all. Mentors who support him, a community that loves him, and an honest relationship with his mother. A cute new guy in Amnesty Bay who caught his eye, and access to Aquaman's private training facility. So is this guy going to be in a relationship with Jackson Hyde? I am not sure. And is it all a trick to get his affection? I don't know. I'm just overall not a huge Aquaman fan. However, if you guys are and want to learn more about Jackson Hyde and what's going on in this series, check it out. It's $4. All right, so now we have another Batman book, and this one is Batman vs. Bigby, A Wolf in Gotham #1. This book retails at $4. And the description here says, with the blood dry at Gotham's 4th gruesome murder scene in as many weeks, Batman is stumped. The same hallmarks haunt each investigation: Bruce Force entries, bodies ripped to shreds, and stamped with enormous bite marks. Well, this seems like a more dark comic book, and this is something that you might read if you're into a little bit more gruesome horror comics, right? I might check this one out. We'll see what happens with it. It's $4 if you are interested. All right, next we move on to an Image comic book here. This one is Frontiersman, issue 1. And this one is like a Green Arrow style adventure, blends with thoughtfulness of concrete in a superhero odyssey. It's for mature readers. However, you know, with these independent comic books, I feel like they're taking a much more center stage these days, and I feel like people are really enjoying these independents more than Marvel and DC, and they tell some really great stories. So if you're looking for something different, check out Frontiersman issue 1. All right, next we have, for Star Wars fans, we have Star Wars Adventures, Ghost of Vader's Castle, issue 1. So this is the conclusion to Vader's Castle saga. Star Wars Adventures, Ghost of Vader's Castle is a horror-packed, star-studded, 5-week series. I don't know what the rest of the description is here, but I have not read this series. Not sure if I'm going to read this series, but again, if you're a Star Wars fan, a Darth Vader fan, this might be something for you to check out. $4. All right, next is from Ablaze. This is He Who Fights with Monsters. This is issue 1. So, on All Hallows Eve, a community struggles under the boot of Nazi war machine when supernatural forces come to play a part in the conflict. I don't know. So, this is from the artist of the best-selling series, Something is Killing the Children. So, whoever does the artwork in there, which I can't remember off the top of my head, does the artwork for this one. So if you want to check out a comic from Ablaze Studios, check out He Who Fights with Monsters issue 1. I will not. I don't think I'll be picking that one up. Next is a book that actually was talked about last week, but I guess it was delayed. That's Impossible Jones. This is issue 1. $4 from Scout Comics. Explosive first issue, the gritty origin of comics' newest sensation. A thief gets powers, is mistaken for a superhero, and runs with it. So this is a bad guy who acquires superpowers and pretends it's a superhero and probably reaps all the benefits from it. That's an interesting concept. If you want to check it out, again, it's coming out September 22nd, or so we think. Next is from Action Lab Comics. This is The Citizen issue 1, $4 price point. This is a journalist who tries to cope with being the only non-superhuman in his city, full of costume heroes and villains. How unlucky are you, man, to be just like the only one that doesn't have powers? That kind of sucks, right? Seems like a pretty cool concept there. So go ahead and check that one out. Next, we have Wonderland, Reign of Madness, Annual Issue 1. This is done by Zenescope Entertainment. their Alice in Wonderland or Wonderland series has been around forever. They have spun so many different versions of this, even way back when I was reading Zenescope. Some of the early stuff from Zenescope is really good. I definitely highly suggest it. Maybe if you want to jump on board or check out this annual, go ahead and check it out. It is a little pricey. It has an $8 price point. So sticking with Zenescope, we have Grim Tales of Terror, The Bachelorette Party, issue 1. Well, so if you want to see a bachelorette party, go ahead and check it out, but it's probably going to be a little bit horrific, a little bit gory. This is a series that's a little bit like Tales from the Crypt, maybe kind of like Dead Box, how that one just came out. Again, it's anthology stories, and it has to do with this Lady Grim Reaper who is always in the background telling a story of what happens. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out. Get you in the spirit a little bit of Halloween. Next is from Action Lab Comics. This is Crash and Troy, issue 1. Explosions, space chases, Cap Video, Crash and Troy are mercs for hire. Latest mission, break out some blue nerd from an intergalactic prison. Who cares? But blue nerds' post-prison plans might kill billions. I have no idea what to expect with that. Who's Crash and Troy? I guess they're just mercs, like they said. Is this supposed to be like a Deadpool type of thing? I'm not so far, so much into that stuff. But if you are, go ahead and check it out. Again, $4 price point. All right. So now we don't have XFactor, but we have, now we don't have XFactor, we have XFactor issue 1 from Action Lab Comics. This is an underground appreciated sidekick called Gray Fox decides to rebrand himself through a new dating reality TV show for superheroes called The S Factor, where 12 female contestants fight for his affection. So this is like The Bachelor, right? Except for like superheroes. I don't know, that could be kind of cool. Again, Action Lab Comics. This is a $4 comic book. And then last but not least here, we have Cookie and the Kid, issue 1. Alex Kozkowski brings you another plateful of his tasty, all-ages fantasy adventure. Deep down in the underground, Cookie and his friends search for the missing human child and uncover more than what they bargained for. Okay, that's great. I guess this is an all-ages fantasy book. That's fine. Will I be picking up Cookie and the Kid? No, I have no interest in it, but if you're looking for something maybe for a younger audience, this might be for you. Again, $4 price point from Antarctic Press. So there you have it, webheads and comic book fans. There are the new #1 comic books that are getting ready to be coming out for September 22nd, 2021. Are there any of them that you're looking forward to? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss any content from me. And if you love the content that you see here today, of course, don't forget to click on it. And as always, guys, don't forget, keep buying, keep collecting, and of course, keep reading those comic books. This is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. Bye.